It certainly does feel good knowing that we're going to be racing back in Australia for the first time since 2019. Now, this prediction series is one that you guys, the audience, can get involved with by following that link in the top line of the description. You'll be asked a set of questions which we will briefly go over in just a moment's time. So without further ado, let us jump on into my Australian Grand Prix predictions. So how exactly does this series work? By clicking that link in the top line of the description, you'll be asked for your top 5 for qualifying, your top 5 for the race, the driver of the day, and then one bold statement relating to any portion of the weekend. Now, for a full list of rules and explanations, there will be a little document down in the description below which you can click to view every single one of the rules for this series. With the main few being that you're only allowed to make one submission to this link, and that the submissions will close before the start of qualifying on Saturday. Now, there is a small little scoring system that goes along with this, and it is as follows. For the top 5 for qualifying, you will receive 2 points for a driver in the correct position, and 1 point if you have put a driver in your top 5 but they are not in the correct position. Then similar scoring is done for the race, however you will receive 3 points for a driver in the correct place, but 1 point as well if they are in the incorrect place. Driver of the day just receives 2 bonus points, and for the bold statements there are 3 levels of risk. Low risk statements will receive 2 points, medium risk 5, and high risk 10 points. Now, I will be mediating each of the risk levels, so if you put a high risk statement and say something like a Red Bull or a Ferrari is going to win, I'm probably going to bump that down to a low risk statement. But ultimately this is up to you guys to decide whether you want to predict something low risk, medium risk, or high risk. And then finally there is a boost option. You have 5 chances to boost for this season, where your score will be doubled for the entire weekend, but bear in mind you only get 5 chances this year. So with all of that out of the way, make sure that you get involved by following that link in the top line of the description to submit your predictions. But now let us jump on into my set of predictions for this weekend's Grand Prix and my entry into the Audience Prediction Championship. So my top 5 for qualifying and for pole position, I have gone for Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. Closely followed by, and joining him on the front row, Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari, then Sergio Perez in P3, followed by the championship leader Charles Leclerc, and then George Russell in the Mercedes. Now, as we saw from Saudi Arabia, that Red Bull is rapid in a straight line, and now with the addition of a fourth DRS zone for this Melbourne circuit, I feel that Red Bull are just going to have that straight line speed over Ferrari to claim that pole position. And then here's hoping that the rumoured Mercedes upgrades coming to Melbourne are actually going to pay dividends, and maybe they'll crawl a little bit further up the order. And as we know, Russell has been actually quite quick in qualifying and consistently that third fastest car quite nicely, as he has seemed to sort of gel a little bit more quickly to this W13 than his counterpart Lewis Hamilton. Hence why I've decided to put George Russell over Lewis Hamilton into P5. But then from my qualifying top 5, we will now delve on into my race top 5, and for a Grand Prix victory, I've gone for Charles Leclerc. I feel it's going to be a bit of a hectic Grand Prix, with Max Verstappen lining up in P2, Sergio Perez completing the podium for his first of the year, then Carlos Sainz in P4, and Lewis Hamilton in P5, with the driver of the day going to Charles Leclerc. Now, if we go back in time and look at Melbourne, we don't always get the world's most exciting Grand Prix, but given that there is now a 4th DRS zone and the racing that we have seen so far this year, which has been exceptional, I'm hoping for something much better, in addition to the significant track changes that have taken place at this Melbourne Albert Park circuit. So here's hoping that it is actually going to be a bit of an interesting race, and the top 5, or just generally the whole grid, moves around a lot from qualifying to the end of the race. But then from my race top 5, we will now take a look at my bold statement, and I've gone for something very low risk. I need the points at the moment. Red Bull and Ferrari will podium, so we will see a Red Bull and a Ferrari on the podium. And then finally, I will actually be boosting for this weekend. So I will be doubling my points for this weekend using one of my 5 boosts. The first time I'll be doing it this year here in Australia. Now remember, if you guys want to get involved in this series, then do follow that link in the top line of the description. All of the rules are listed in the other document as well, which is also linked down there too, in addition to the submissions database, so you can view if you have submitted and then also what everybody else has submitted for each of the questions. Now remember, if you do have any queries or questions regarding this series or your submission, then please do let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer those. But that is all I've got for you today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next episode with whatever and whenever I decide to make it. I'll see you guys then.